Talking about the recent PETA and this controversy between a dairy producer. So people are saying that lakhs of people are going to lose employment if they switch to plant-based milk. So what do you have to say about this?
See, the employment argument, I appreciate it, but it is not absolute in itself. In fact, the employment argument can be stretched to absurd extremes. I could say pickpockets are employed in their own industry, the pickpocketing industry. Why are you arresting them? It's an industry. Why are you arresting them? You are making several hundreds, if not thousands or lakhs lose employment, right? By no means am I saying that a dairy farmer is a pickpocket. Please don't take it to that level. But what I'm saying is that are all means of employment really permissible? Legally, ethically, whichever way you want to look at it. If the employment argument is absolute in itself, then anything that helps a man earn money should be permissible. Then why do we, for example, punish tax defaulters? He's just trying to make some money for himself. Just as the butcher is trying to make money for himself. No? So, just because some activity yields money to somebody, that does not mean that the activity is okay. Otherwise, there are 1,000 debauched ways of earning money, making money. We would have to allow each single one of them. So, firstly, this is about the argument that because you see, whenever you want to take a corrective step, there is always this argument that is thrown at you that this will lead to loss of livelihood. If you want to switch to a greener technology, not much to do with veganism here, but let's say you want to switch to a greener technology, then people will say the old technology was manpower intensive, so there were so many who were earning their bread from it. Now you have switched to a technology that's more automated, so loss of livelihood, this kind of thing. You do anything progressive, it is generally believed that it leads to loss of livelihood, and prima facie it does. But when you look at the complete picture, when you zoom out a little and you look at the complete picture, you find that it is not leading to lack of employment, because if it is actually a new technology, a better way of living, it is leading to an overall increase of efficiency in the economy. So, in many other ways, it will lead to employment generation. The problem here is the loss of employment happens in one localized area, in one localized segment. So, for example, those who earn through dairy, they lose money. So, that is very visible. And some zealous reporter can go and create a documentary and say, you look at this, his name is something. Mr. Pankaj Singh had 40 buffaloes and he used to earn so much per month, and now he is not making that money. So now one particular individual, he has lost money, and that is visible. But there would be 1,000 people who would have marginally increased their incomes. That would not be visible. Are you getting it? Because the overall efficiency of the system has increased. You see, one person has lost 10,000 rupees a month. That is very visible, and it becomes a localized thing. The tragedy now has a human face. The face is of Mr. Pankaj Singh. And you can say Pankaj Singh who has lost money. Pankaj Singh has lost 10,000. There are 1,000 others who each have gained 50 rupees each. So how much is the gain? 50,000. How much is the loss? 10,000. But that 50,000 gain is distributed among 1,000 people. So it is not a big story. It is not sensational. No, it is not sensational at all. No reporter will go and make a story out of somebody adding just 5% to his income. Just 50 rupees has been added to that fellow's income. It is not an exciting story. But one fellow losing 10,000 is a big story. What we fail to see is that, in a nutshell, on the total, there is a gain. And if there is a gain, what can be done? All those fellows who have gained 50 rupees, can rupees 5 or 10 be collected from them and Mr. Pankaj Singh be subsidized? Now what has happened? All those fellows who have gained, they have gained rupees 50 each. Since they have gained rupees 50 each, you collect rupees 10 from each of them and feed Mr. Pankaj. Now Mr. Pankaj stands at a point of no loss. And all those other people stand at a point of gain of rupees 40. Everybody has gained. Everybody has gained. Are you getting it? So that kind of a thing can be done. But this is a classical problem in economics. Losses are localized. So they are very visible. The gains are scattered and long term. So they are not easily visible. Be it something like GST or whatever. The trouble that you face, the pain that you face is immediate and it has a human face. Whereas the benefits that you get are distributed and long term. So they do not make for an exciting and sellable story. So they don't get popularized. And that's the trouble governments and reformers all over the world face. Whenever they want to do something progressive, this is the argument that is hurled at them. This is going to lead to loss of livelihood and loss of employment and such things. So
even like the European Union has banned the use of term milk for plant milk producers in Europe and European area basically. So similar trend is being seen in India also, and now I think an FSSAI notification is going to come in very soon on this. So do you think that there must be some efforts from the government side also to push this sector, the plant-based sector, and the companies in this?
If you have an enlightened leader, that would happen. But even if you do not have a very enlightened leader, why do you wait for the government policies? Please tell me. Plant-based products are anyway more economical to produce. You do not even require government subsidy. I am very closely associated with a firm that is bringing in plant-based products, not in a commercial sense, but I have been mentoring them in a spiritual way, you could say. So I know for sure how inexpensive it is. I know for sure that if you tell the population that what I'm serving to you with fortified ingredients has all the goodness of milk at 1/3 the price, at 1/5 the price, people will take it. Maybe initially there would be some reluctance, some suspicion, but gradually the thing would ease into their systems. So you do not even need positive government policy interventions. You don't need that. All you need is willpower and the resolve to bring it to the masses and make money. It's something that can succeed even commercially. So it's a good combination where you have ethics on your side, where you have spirituality on your side, and where you also have commercial gain on your side. And all this can be put into one. It's a fantastic opportunity for entrepreneurial advances.
Okay, so talking about this, soya is it's like the most widely consumed food by vegans in different forms, and most of the soya that comes into India and in other places is all GMO. So people say that it's harmful for health, and there are a lot of basically they have reservations about it. What do you have to say about that?
No, if it indeed is genetically modified, then it's a great opportunity for someone to produce, organic or natural soya without any genetic interventions in it and market it. It need not be GM soya, right?
So basically, Indian farmers need to,
Obviously,
they have a lot of opportunities ahead. And
obviously. I don't know whether you have done the numbers on this, but you will be surprised at how inexpensive the whole thing comes out to be. In fact, when I said I have mentored one concern, I have actually mentored two of them. And one of them actually supplies tofu and dahi and lassi, all of these vegan, to this place. And it was just last week or sometime I was scrolling the conversations that people here had with him on a group, and the entire load that he had delivered, this much, was for some 500 bucks something, 500 rupees and this much stuff. So, and you taste it, it's wonderful. And you look at the minerals, vitamins and all other stuff, it has proteins. It's again wonderful. The economic argument is in favor of it. The health argument is in favor of it. The spiritual argument favors it. Why would then anybody deny it? Huh? People do care for their pocket, don't they? You know what? Very silently, tofu is anyway creeping into our diets. There are a lot of these eateries. Tofu is being used in large quantities. Why? Because it is cheaper compared to paneer. So they are using tofu. And it tastes equally good. And it's not at all differentiable. Otherwise, their customers would have complained. No. The nutrition is fantastic. The taste is equally good. Provided you know how to cook and all that. The process is a little different. So that's the argument that probably will help a lot, the economics. But even for that, the entrepreneur has to ensure that the pricing is right. If you look at the biggest soy brands in the country, who sell soy milk and all, I find their pricing just not optimal. The result will be that they will be able to skim a lot of cream, make a lot of money for themselves, but will fail in expanding the market. The market size will remain small, so they'll have a small customer base, but with large margins. So in total, they'll be able to make some money, which I think is a bad deal. It's far better to expand the market by lowering the prices.
Okay, talking about meat eating, there are some cultures, even in India, which they have, like, it's a very intrinsic part of their culture. And they've been eating meat like since time immemorial. So, what do you think? How can that mindset be changed? And, how can they change their habits? Do you think meat alternatives that are coming into the market can help them shift to...
I'm in favor of meat alternatives.
You are in favor.
Anything that saves the poor animal's life, it's okay. It's lab-grown meat, fine. It's soya chunks, fine. And I think there are some other alternatives also that taste so much like meat. Anything that saves the poor animal from that farm, and that knife is welcome. See, dropping meat is not all that difficult. We make that happen every day, right? As far as our organization is concerned, we do not have an exact number, but the guesstimate is tens of thousands of people who would have dropped meat, and a relatively smaller number who would have dropped dairy as well. Let's say 50% of those who have dropped meat. So that happens. And it's not as if people drop it for a while and then go back to it. We know for sure that there are people who dropped it 5 years back and have no inclination at all to revert to meat. So people will drop meat, probably you need to give them a strong enough reason, right? Had we been so mad after meat, we would have dug up corpses, right? And enjoyed their meat as well. Had we been so mad after meat, then the Muslim would have gone after pork and the Hindu would have gone after beef. But we don't do that, right? Once we have a strong reason to not consume meat, we listen. That reason is missing. Somebody needs to have the clarity and the voice and the power to bring that reason to the population. And people will listen, and I believe in the intrinsic goodness of every person. We all behave in very, very pitiable ways. We know that, we see that, oftentimes we behave as if we are absolute monsters. But still the potential to be very, very good remains within all of us. And I have faith in that. So I would not be a cynic and feel that it's Kali Yuga and it's therefore very difficult to evoke compassion inside a person, or that this current generation has gone to dogs and now nobody can rectify them. I don't subscribe to all this. I think if we can talk to them properly with due reasons and get them to act from the right center within, things can change, and things can change quite swiftly.
Last question from my side. How do you think veganism will fare in the coming years? Where do you see it going in the next couple of years? Basically, how will the growth be?
There are two different trajectories, and the vegan movement will follow one of them or be situated at some point in the middle of them. The first trajectory is the way it is currently going. It will remain a foreign concept, a thing for the rich, a fad for the elite. That's how the general public takes it, because I'm in touch with the common populations and dealing with people on an everyday basis is what I do. So I know how they look at veganism. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is you ask yourself again and again, what is it that made India vegetarian? And the same forces that made India vegetarian will make India vegan as well. You'll have to respect those forces. You'll have to channelize those forces in your favor. Because veganism is nothing but the logical culmination of vegetarianism. Where does vegetarianism come from? The feeling that I will not kill the animal. I don't want to harm the animal. That same feeling finds its final expression in veganism. When I say killing the animal is very, very bad, but when I am milking the animal, that too is bad. Not only that, when I am milking the animal, I am preparing the grounds for its slaughter. So you will have to extend vegetarianism into veganism. Instead of that, I often find that vegans take vegetarianism as some kind of adversary. They say, no, no vegetarianism. In fact, it's a very strange thing. I have found, I don't know whether it's a subconscious thing or what, but vegans often take vegetarians as bigger adversaries compared to even meat eaters. They say meat eaters, we can probably talk to them, but vegetarians, they are abhorrible. This is a problem, huge problem. I repeat, veganism will have to be taken as the pinnacle of vegetarianism. Vegetarianism is not an enemy. You could say vegetarianism is a work in process and veganism is the final output. When you go to the people and talk in this language and explain the concept like this, then they will understand.
Right. So Indianizing veganism should be the motto.
Indianizing and spiritualizing.
Right.
It's very important.
Thank you so much. They were like wonderful insights and gained a lot of knowledge. And this was actually a very different take from what others say.
No, wonderful, and I have looked at the work you do, the site you run. It's wonderful. I wish you all success.
Thank you so much.
And the country, the world, we all need many, many more people like you, many more such initiatives. And I really wish that you stay on course and keep progressing with success.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.